Well, it's another Wednesday, time for us to bring you AM Business. Now, he polishes cars of presidents for ceremonial purposes. This presidential treats will cost some 1,500 cedis. Emmanuel Awume says this detailing could be done in at least 2 days. Odilia Ntiamwa visited him at his workshop, and here's her report.
Well, I've come to the workshop of Cecil Ventures, the man that actually details the cars of president. This detailing could give you, the spark that you're looking for, even if you have not sprayed your car. So guess what? What's happening right behind me is just steaming the engine, making sure that water is not going into it. Cecil, exactly what's going on here right now?
Okay, currently what is going on is the steam engine detailing. Now, most of the electronic engines these days are very sensitive to water. So you don't want to use water to clean the engine, that could damage it. And so what happens is when you use the steam, because it is hot steam that is being emitted, as it cleans, it evaporates the water at the same time. So you don't seem to have water settling to soak into any electronic component that could cause any damage to the engine.
So if your mechanic washes your car engine at 30 Ghana cedis and leaves you with a damaged part, then for 300 cedis with steam, you're better off. Did you know that the bacteria in your car is more than that on your toilet seat? So when you do this kind of super detailing for the car, so for a car like this,
yes,
how much is it going to go for?
Yeah, it's going for about 350 Ghana cedis, between 350 to 650, depending on the dirt condition.
Yeah.
Now, the reason being that in the steam we use, it doesn't only clean, but we also disinfect, especially the interior of the car. Now, the interior of the car, research has proven that keeps bacteria more than, excuse my language, the toilet seat.
What's he doing now?
Okay, now he is cleaning the air conditioned vents. Now you realize that in the air conditioned vents, you will not be able to have access of cleaning. And so the steam aids in cleaning the air conditioned vent. Okay, and so once the steam is directed in there, because of the chemicals in the steam, it's able to clean within the air conditioned vent. And also cleaning up the seats and any part of the interior as is going on currently.
Emmanuel has been doing this business for 30 years, and already he's been detailing presidential cars starting from President Kufuor up to today, President Akufo-Addo's car. You also do some detailing for very high-profile people. Tell us about that.
So in the course of my services, I was recommended by a man who came from the US and was coming to detail the president, that was President Kufuor's official vehicle. And so in the process of getting him done, he needed a team to support him get a job done. And so my company was recommended to him as a support team to try and get the presidential ceremonial vehicles done. And so we were there to help in detailing ex-President Kufuor's official vehicle. And then because of the way we professionally handled it, we were recommended to state protocol. And for almost a decade now, we have been responsible for the ceremonial vehicles detailing of the presidency. So usually on the 6th of March, the cars our president sits in and then wave at us and all that. That beauty of the car, that has been my handiwork and my team, yes.
This has not been a rosy journey though. I know you've had some down moments as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You've been doing this for over 20 years. Yes. Tell us about your down moments.
So, in the course of expanding, on one of my branches, I had a challenge with the landlord. Apparently, we had a verbal agreement to pay 300 Ghana cedis for 2 years in advance. And so based on that verbal agreement, of which a documentation will be done later, I went to the bank and took some bank loan to support my internally generated funds to establish one of the branches, which became very, very, which had the international standard, of course. You know, but interestingly, after I invested so hugely, about 40,000 Ghana cedis around 2008 into the project, this said landlord came up to say he was now taking me $500 for 2 years. All right. He actually invited me to his office, handed a document to me, and upon going through the document, then I saw the figures. And I said, no, I think this is a typo. That was not what we originally agreed upon. You know, but he insisted that he doesn't rent his property less than $500. So I was compelled to pay for that. Now, I couldn't have that money because it wasn't part of my original budget. And so he asked that I pay for the number of months I had stayed on the property. That was a year and some few months. And so whatever I had was used to pay off that, and he gave me 3 months to fold up if I'm unable to pay for the rest balance for the 2 years.
How did that affect you as a business?
I lost everything because whatever I had, I used it to pay him, and I had to pay the banks.
Having been an entrepreneur for 30 years, Emmanuel Awume has a few nuggets for startups, and this includes getting higher education.
In fact, in the midst of the challenges, what I realized was there were some mistakes I made in terms of expansion. I was over-exuberant and expanded too quick without looking critically to my finances. There should have been a situation where I should have considered having a buffer to support the business. And then within the phase of the bankruptcy session, which is the 4-year space, I did not waste it. I pushed myself into school. And so I brought in a partner who had to come and stand in for me. And so whatever money I was making in bits and pieces, I was using it to finance my education.
Our car is now ready for some premium washing. For those who wash cars with soap and sponge, open your ears.
That is on every corner of the vehicle and makes it easier to rinse. And then you have a very excellent finished look of your paintwork. Now,
so what kind of chemical is it?
We call it the snow foam. So it has the inherent products that dissolve dirt, and it makes it easier for removing dirt from the paint surface. Now, the paint surface is very sensitive to dirt, and so any dirt particle that is on the paint surface whilst you clean can leave a scratch on the surface of the paint. So this product tends to be able to remove every dirt completely off the surface of the paint. And so once you clean and rinse this car, it looks that good.
So instead of using soap on your car?
Professionally, because it's a professional product. So once you visit professional detailers, they'll be able to use this in aid of detailing your car for you to have that excellent showroom finish. So you can use the soap, the regular car shampoo as well, but when you want to have that professional finish to your car, you want to see the professional detailer to apply some of the professional products in making your car look good.
It takes close to 1 hour to just clean the rims.
What is going on now is the rim detailing process. Now he's going to do that and as well go underneath the vehicle to detail the other side of it after he had sprayed a rim cleaner product. Now what happens is the brake dust that is emitted from the application of brakes tends to form a clot of lining on the rim surface. And so it gets stuck such that no amount of regular cleaning can eliminate it and remove it. So you need a process of application of a chemical, and part of the process he's going through to be able to dissolve that stuck stain chemicals, okay, that has been stuck on the rim, clean it up, and then the whole rim come out as though it's new again. So any stain left on the rim surface is removed. And so you can imagine what he's going through. This is going to take him about an hour, to be able to detail all the 4 rims.
You were telling me about the fact that this particular car owner is going for a platinum package.
Exactly.
Tell me about that and tell me exactly why you're taking as much as 1,200.
This car owner brought this car for a platinum detailing service. Now, what the platinum detailing service does is it reconditions the car back close to that original showroom condition of the vehicle. All right, and so in a process like that, sometimes you need about 36 hours of work, 72 hours of work, depending on the dead condition of the vehicle. This, for instance, is going to take about 48 hours of work, and so you have to detail primarily every unique part of this vehicle, from the rims down to the underneath, body, the trim cleanup, and like you saw earlier what we did with the interior. Those are part of the processes in getting the platinum detailing service done. And once you get that done, you also want to correct the paintwork. Now, the paint doesn't seem to shine as it should. It has lost its glossy look. And so in a situation like this, you don't need to respray the car. We have a process that we call compounding, right? Once we compound the car, we are able to wax finish it and give you that well glossy paint that was originally on the car without you spraying it.
Time to compound wash to correct all the problems with the paint on the car as a result of washing with the wrong materials.
Now, when you take a critical look on the paint surface, you realize some hazy conditions of it. The gloss effect cannot be well seen.
Yeah, I can see that, obviously.
Exactly. So we call that oxidation. Okay. And this has occurred as a result, one, because of the ultraviolet rays effect on the paintwork.
So what are you about to do now?
So what we're going to do now is we're going to compound polish the paintwork. Now, the compound, usually most often people mistake waxing to be the only way you need to shine your paintwork. And you only do wax when the paint surface is still intact, looking good, but you just want to dress it up. Like just taking a shower and want to use a pomade on your body. That is how you apply wax. But then the compounding corrects the problems on the paint surface. And so currently, we're going to do a compound polish that is going to correct the problems on the paint surface before we apply the wax.
So the wax gives it the extra shine and finish?
Yes, and coating. So it coats to seal the correction. And then gives it the gloss and shine back. So once you apply the wax, it becomes like a layer, a film layer that you've laid on top of the paint surface that protects it from the direct ultraviolet rays effect on the paint. So when you want to find out whether a car has been waxed or not, there are two approaches to it. One is the visual identification. So now when you take a close look, you can see that this side looks a bit hazy as against that side. If the camera gets close, it should see it. The second approach is with the professionals, you just run a finger. Now, you run a finger here. So you try it out and see the effect.
Yeah, this side is smooth and this is
sticky.
It's quite sticky. Yeah,
exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. So these are some of it. So that tells you that there's a film of layer that has been placed on the surface of the paint to protect it.
Emmanuel's company, under the Cecil brand, says it's time to impact.
Now, having been in this industry for 30 years, my entire entrepreneurial journey has been 30 years, but focusing on car detailing has been 20 years exactly this year. And so I felt I've gotten to the stage where I want to impact knowledge. Much of the experiences I've gotten through the entrepreneurial journey, I want to impact the next generation, startup entrepreneurs, prospective entrepreneurs within the corporate and public sector. You know, most people in there, some of them have entrepreneurial ideas, but the fear of job insecurity and financial insecurity tends to keep them in there. And by the time they go on pension, they realize that they've not been able to achieve and accomplish their main dream objectives.
The car is now ready, and oh, what a beauty.
So now you know how to get your vehicle looking just like that. And I hope that we've encouraged you. If you're an entrepreneur, you're thinking about starting something, well, you can start small and dream big, and it can definitely be possible. That's AM Business. Today is brought to us courtesy EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Stay with us. We've got Dr. Clement Apak, who's Member of Parliament for Busa South, on AM Talk this morning. Stay with us.